Hey, what's good y'all? Josh from Mallard here. We're back with another video. I'm coming out with 3 videos a week, so be sure to subscribe below. But today I'm going to show you how to make some 808s in Serum. 808s are really great. They're in just about every trap beat, every hip hop beat that's coming out. So they're super good to figure out how to make on your own. But they all come down to style. I'm going to show you how to make some flexible 808s that are pure and really clean, and then I'm going to show you how to really distort those and get some crazy overblown 808 sounds. Anyways, I hope you enjoy, and let's jump right into it. You just opened Serum. The first thing you want to do is go to Analog BD Sine. This is a sine wave, and this is what we'll use for the basis of our 808 sound. Let's take a listen. Okay, not exactly what we want, but it's going to be what we need to get there. So let's think about how an 808 works first. It goes from a really high pitch to a low pitch, and it also goes from a higher volume to a lower volume. How can we get there? Thinking of it this way lets you understand Serum and 808s a bit better. So envelope is how we control that volume change of the sound. If you drag this dot down and off to the right a little bit, you have it go from a higher volume and then tail off to a lower one. So the decays at 1.69 or whatever, the exact values don't matter, so kind of play around with this. And this sustain is really low, so check this out. So that's kind of like the shape of an 808, the envelope of an 808. So let's drop this octave value down by 2. So it's going to be 2 octaves lower now. Nice, so we already have that round 808 sound. What can we do next? We can think about pitch, like I said a few seconds ago. So drag the LFO all the way over here and pull this dot down like that. If you want to get fancy, you can even double click and add a whole nother dot and get some fluctuation right there. Turn the mode to envelope so this LFO doesn't loop and repeat and have you have multiple attacks when you hold down a note. Now from here, you just drag the LFO to the coarse pitch. This is going to change the pitch over time. But to be safe, we have to change the type right here so that it doesn't go in multiple directions. And then change the amount to taste. So let's hear this. Okay, so we're kind of getting where we want. That's kind of what we want. So what can you do from here? Well, we need that beefy low end. We need some punch to this. What I like to do is turn on the filter and stay on MG low 12. That's a low pass filter. So all you have to do is bump this drive up so it's boosting the low end in the mids a bit, and then put the LFO on the cutoff knob. Now I crank it all the way to the right, and that means it's going to start here and then it's going to dip to the middle just like that when it goes through this little graph right here. Check it out. So we're getting there. That's kind of what we want, but let's add some more punch. So let's go ahead and go into this noise module and hit attacks and kicks. So this is a whole folder that comes with Serum full of 808 or kick transients. So it's going to add that punch to the beginning. I like to use 18 sometimes and just drag your LFO to the volume. And you can tweak this to taste, but what's really important is that you click this box and this box. This is the one-shot box. This means it's only going to let this kick sound play once. And this is the key tracking. So the pitch of that sample is going to be tracking the pitch that we play on our MIDI keyboards or virtual keyboards. So from there, you can take a listen. All right, so we got a bit of that punch. And then what can we do next? Well, I like to go into distortion and transient shaping so that we can get more tone. What is distortion really doing to sounds though? Well, it's introducing more harmonic content. It's going to add some harmonic distortion to like frequencies in the mid-range, in the upper mids, and the highs, and it's going to add some more content to them so that they cut through in a mix a bit more. So if we go to this FX tab, we can go to distortion and turn that on. I like to start with diode 1 or something that's a pretty hard distortion, and turn the mix all the way to 0. Then you can just drag your LFO on there and turn this knob down. This LFO we've been using has been putting in a lot of work. It's controlling the cutoff, the coarse filter, a lot of different stuff. So definitely don't sleep on the LFO in Serum and what you can do just with that. So now it's going to start here and it's going to dip all the way to 0. Let's hear how that sounds. Well, if we boost it a little bit. Well, if we boost it a lot of bit. So that's a bit crazy, not exactly what we're going for, but it shows you that just by messing with the distortion, you can get a really different sound. What I like to do from here is actually add some more distortion. I love Camel Crusher. This is a free distortion plugin, and if you want a breakdown on 3 free plugins that I use to make my drums hit hard, just like this 808, I have another video on that. A link will be on the screen or something, or in the description, so check that out next. But I turn this on and I just use the Annihilate preset. This is the default patch that loads right when you download it. Check this out now. Listen to what that's doing. Let's disable it. So it's boosting a lot of those upper mid and mid frequency and high frequencies, but it's also giving us some extra volume and compression. So what I like to do next is turn on my transient designer. This is another free one I covered in that video I mentioned. And that's just going to boost that initial kick sound a little bit. Let's listen. Okay, now you got a standard clean 808 sound. A little bit of distortion, and it's going to hit pretty hard in a mix. So what can you do now? Well, now you can think about what changes in 808. We talked about distortion, which is really good, but also the envelope, so how this sounds. So if you change the sustain to max, you get a 808 that sustains until you let go, just like those kind of like Ronnie J type 808s. So check it out. Pretty cool. And if we boost this distortion a lot, we get something more distorted. So just by changing that and changing the distortion, you have something completely different. So now we can reset this a bit. And one other thing you definitely want to do, the last thing you want to do is check the mono box. Mono means it's not going to have any polyphony. Polyphony is multiple voices. It's not going to let voices overlap, so that if you overlap your MIDI notes or something, you'll only get one sound at a time. That way you don't get any phase cancellation or like dissonances from different intervals. Very important. And if you want to do some glides, you can check the portamento and legato, and you can boost this time a bit. And check this out. So we're getting some gliding, some pitch bending there. I'll do another video on how I like to do this in Reaper, but that's a quick way to do it in Serum for sure. Anyways, that's all you really got to know to make an 808, but it all comes down to style. Everyone has the tools, but it's really building your intuition and knowing what are the cool sounds, what's going to be hot in a mix, what's going to sound good in a beat. But I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below. I just might do a video on one of your suggestions. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you next time.